Hey everybody, BTO Pro here, and today I'm going to show you how to install HAXcms in MAMP so you can start publishing on your own. Obviously these directions would apply to things other than MAMP. This is just the one I'm going to use because I have a Mac. So you're going to go to elmsln/HAXcms. You can find the link through the haxtheweb.org website. If you're on haxtheweb.org, there's the awesome video player, the case for Hax, and then get involved. It's the first link here. So you can jump over to HAXcms's repo, and then we're going to see here, I'm going to hit releases, and I'm going to download the source of 030, published 10 minutes ago. So I'm going to open this up, click zip, drag this over here. Okay, so what we'll see is this folder structure. Now, I've already installed MAMP, but once you install MAMP or download it on Mac, you can click Applications and then scroll down in the Applications area and you'll see MAMP. If you click MAMP, then you'll go drop into a folder here. MAMP here, so if you double click that, that's actually turning on the MAMP server. It'll open up this little window here. It says, hey, MAMP. Where you want to put those HAXcms files, though, is under this htdocs folder. So I'm going to copy this folder's contents. I'm going to drag it over here. Okay. I've got them in place, and now I'm going to turn the server on. So hit Start Server. It's going to start up. It starts its own little MySQL server, which we don't even need because this is a static site generator. But then you'll be taken to a screen like this, talks about what it is they have, and you're going to want to hit My Website. So this is not a glitch. This is the install screen. I should make it prettier. But you say, welcome to the decentralization, HAXcms and ASCII art. It says how to submit issues and whatnot. The thing you're going to want to pay attention to is right here. So to log in, use the following. So it generates a password, and it's got your username as admin. Now, either I can refresh this page or I can click to access the site manager. Then I'll see a blank screen. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to click login. I've got to optimize that part. So then there's admin, and I'm going to put in the password that I got from before that I copied. Hit sign in, and I'm logged in. So now I'm going to hit Add New Site. I'm going to say MAMP. So MAMP demo, sure. Demonstration of HAXcms using MAMP. All right. Just to start, I'll say that it's pink, and I'm going to use a Learn theme. Sure. Those things aren't super important. What's important is a title and the theme that you want to use. You can change these things later, but I can start with Learn here. So let's go. See, it's pretty fast. That's what happens when you don't have databases. So I'm going to select that. HAXcms in this mental model here is a static site, like microsite, whatever you want to call it, publishing engine. And so it's not just one site, it's like a series of sites. So imagine that this Add New Site button is effectively letting you build new websites. So you hit Access Site. You'll see it takes me somewhere rather quickly. It says, hey, MAMP demo index. And I've got just a new page is pretty much all I'll see at first. What this looks like as far as files is when you hit install before, you'll see that I don't have these folders selected. So the folders at the top of this list that start with underscore, like underscore config, underscore published, underscore sites. These are the files that are updated, by HAXcms. So when you go and get, future copies of the platform, you could download the zip file and just overwrite all the files below where the underscores are. So it's on purpose. This also relates to what you'll see in the URL here, right? So underscore sites, MAMP demo, MAMP demo. So what you're working on is effectively its own little static site Git repository. If those words don't mean anything to you, don't worry. They're not supposed to. So if I want to add new content or work on content in my blog here, I can either add a single item like this, hit add, new post, my first post, or actually I guess it's the second post. I can hit create and you'll see it gets added. It says, hey, I added something. So then the way we edit content in HAXcms is using the Hax Editor. So I go and I select a page, and you'll see now that I've selected a page, I get more options. So if I wanted to change the title, right, I don't want to say my or new post, MAMP is cool too. There we go. So I updated the title. If I want to edit the contents of that, right, this area here, I'm going to hit the edit pencil. This brings up the Hax Editing Interface. So if I wanted to, find, we have some basic default options under here. Like if I wanted to search Wikipedia, we'll search for MAMP. Hopefully it comes up. Hey, MAMP. There we go. I could search for MAMP through there. If I wanted to add something, I can open up this tab here. I'm going to drag in a silly picture of me. And Hax is going to save that file and then say, well, how do you want to present it? And I could do like a self-check or image comparison tool, or if this was a GIF, make it accessible. I'll go with a meme because I like making memes. So stop using DB-driven platforms. And so what you're seeing here is this is actually editing HTML the whole time. So now that I've got that in the page, I can click, make it a more reasonable size. Maybe we'll move it over to the middle. At any point, I can hit View Source or Source View, and I'll get a picture of what is being made here. So this is leveraging something called web components, which allow us as educators to have these portable new HTML tags. Right? So that's a valid tag using the web component standard, which means Hax is teaching this page how to interpret a meme maker tag, so you get this awesome photo of me on my vacation where I look like a weirdo. So I'm going to hit save, and then we'll go back to main page. Maybe I'll go over to that new page and do the same thing again. I could add in a placeholder or something, maybe drop in a PNG about NGDLE, which is what this is. It's part of that next generation, digital learning environment. Something EDUCAUSE has talked about for a while, but we've actually built one. So this is a visual showing just kind of where Hax sits in the organization, that you could plug it into any platform, and then it's for routing and stitching together all this data so that students can get access to it anywhere. What you're seeing right now via HAXcms is a static site generator on steroids. So imagine this was about a topic, and I say I want to make something. I could make something from any of these different things. If it was math, let's say we're teaching about math, and I needed to do E equals MC squared or cubed, I could put in a math equation there. If I needed to have done that in context, E equals MC, it's not cubed, silly, it's squared. Select that, and I can hit this advanced item button and then say, well, make that math. You see we've got the E equals MC cubed, and now it's E equals MC cubed right there. But it should be E equals MC squared. There we go. So E equals MC squared, steroids. That's great. There's templates, so you can dump in some examples as well. So I could say like, well, here's an example assignment, and it's just me talking about an assignment. I could dump in an example lesson. You see this has created some just silly questions associated with the Elms platform, so you get the idea. Hey, who founded Elms LN? Cool. So this HAXcms is a byproduct of a project called Elms Learning Network. That's why that silly question there. So you're working on your blog and you're doing all this. You're building a website. Kind of cool. I can go to site details, right? And I can undo that theme from before if I really needed to, right? So let's turn this into a learning theme, right, instead of a blog. Okay, and now we have this instructionally centric site. So now I go over to outline, which we didn't show before, but outline is going to let me outline this stuff. So I could just type lesson 1, introduction to math. Actually, let's do MAMP. Operating systems. Who is this for? Anyone. You mean me? Recap. Right, and maybe I would actually make lessons that are more like lesson X, and I'm working on just a general flow, and it's like introduction, and then special topic, statement with media, something like that, right? We do this a lot of times when we're building out course structures. Conclusion, and then scroll down here. Get ready for next time. So this is a next generation outline designer, if you're familiar with some of our older work, but I can hit duplicate, and where my cursor is, it then took and duplicated that structure. So now I've got lesson X here, and then I'll duplicate, 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 duplicate. Let's make this lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4, 5, 6, and we'll make that lesson 7. Okay, so this has 7 lessons. You could call those whatever you wanted, right? And at this point I can go and modify these titles, and this is just helping me make this stuff pretty quickly. Maybe I had screwed up at one point and I said, ooh, this is actually lesson 5.5. I don't know why I wanted to do it that way, but I did. I could hit move up on this, and it'll move that whole group up. So hit save, and I know it took a long time, no database on the back end there. Now I have my structure over here. And what's happening, so that we have some full clarity, is what's going on. So when I've uploaded files, they're available under this files directory here. So there's my silly picture. Here's my silly picture scaled 50% automatically. Here's my silly picture cropped and made into a little teeny square. When I'm making pages, it is going to create a folder with the title of the page and then put an index.html in it. So introduction 4 right here, you can actually reach out and see what the contents of that page are. And there's ex uno pluribus right there. If I was to take this page and then we'll drop in a, I don't know, 50-50 column layout, and we'll put a picture of an actual professor in there. We don't need to put any additional context with who that is. Some MOOC person. I invented LTI. Yay, fun history lesson. So hit save. We've got the I've invented LTI with Dr. Chuck there. But then what's happened in that file is it's taken those contents we showed a window into before, and it's saved it in the minimum amount of content needed to get this to show back up. So just to prove that these are the same, I could actually go into this file and let's delete grid plate, and then I could just write, well actually, no, let's take just that picture of Dr. Chuck, and we're just going to put an IMG tag there and make it just an image, right? Save, and now let's click away, click back, and now the grid layout's gone. So this is just loading those files off the file system. The design is abstracted from that content. So if I, for whatever reason, said, I don't like this design, let's pick a different one. Let's try Basic Site. Basic Site takes your initial topics and it strings them across the top of the interface here, and then you drill down into them here. So there's that Dr. Chuck there, right? Maybe edit this, and it shouldn't be called introduction, it should be called like Dr. Chuck and Dr.-Chuck. So when I hit save, we get our updated material. There's Dr. Chuck at the Dr. Chuck page. The URL now says Dr. Chuck, and then underneath in the file system, we've got, hey, there it is right there. Rename the folder to Dr. Chuck and knew what file it was. So that's the basic idea with HAXcms is content and structure are disconnected from design fundamentally. So if I wanted to send that over to like a slide deck, maybe I'm doing a presentation of some kind. Here we go. You know, this little mini site doesn't make a lot of sense in the context of a slide deck, but hey, oh, there's me again. Let's stop using databases. They're gonna go the way of the dinosaur. Let's say this was a documentation site instead, and my primary color is green. That we can hit save, and you notice the fade into the green. You notice a different site structure. This is a different way of teaching about a topic, and then I could just jump around through the material, scroll back up, get to those initial pages. That everything is its own discrete piece. We don't want you to waste any effort on anything here. Go to operating systems, I could hit delete. Yep. Just target and get rid of that one page. So that's all well and good. What the heck do you do with this? So I can go into settings gear again. If the site had a banner, I could upload that or whatever. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit publish. And so publish is going to think about it for a second. And then it's going to say, hey, click to access. I'll click to access. And then see this message here. Pages you're viewing are cached for offline use. What that did, if I go into Finder again now, so if you imagine we've got this site that we're working on, right? There's that MAMP demo site. But then I want to get this out to students. I want other people to see this, right? It could be a blog. It could be any number of new themes that we come up with. If I go to published, there's MAMP demo. And this is a slightly reconfigured version. It's kind of like a snapshot in time of that MAMP demo site. And you see, you know, for reference, the MAMP demo site has a .git folder, which if you understand Git, let me pull up a Git visualizer here. This is the GitHub GUI. If I drag and drop MAMP in here, yeah, add repository, you'll see that every operation that I just executed via the UI has made a commit to version control. If you use version control for tracking content changes or code changes, you'd know why this is a big deal, right? There's even that manual change that I made. You can see, oh, we changed the theme at this point in time. We can see we changed the theme back. We can see that bulk outline change, right? There's all those tons of pages. All of that is captured the whole way through with HAXcms. And again, I didn't configure anything ahead of time. That just happens. If I go to publish, though, it's almost like I've taken that site and I've just said, here's a stamp in time, right? This is, you know, imagine you're working on your course or your education website, your blog, whatever, and you want to get this out to people at a very specific point in time so you can send these files out. Now, what this has done is it said, hey, this has been cached for offline viewing. This is going to get a little trippy here, but if I go to, I'm going to do an inspect. I'm going to simulate this. I'm going to hit network. I'm going to hit offline. So to prove this is offline, I'll go back to this web page. And I have to have the offline tab thing open. It's just for a specific tab that it fakes it, I guess. So I'm going to open up network. We'll hit offline. Refresh. Right, no internet connection. Cool. That's what I wanted to illustrate. We are not, as far as that tab is concerned, we're not connected to the internet. Let's go over to the MAMP page with published. I told it to be offline. I'm going to hit refresh, and yet there it still is. So what is happening here is as you're engineering these files, and you can see the sites right there, at least as far as different places that I went. There's Dr. Chuck. Now look, it's broken, right? That's a broken image. That's kind of did that on purpose. Now let's go online. Let's imagine that we're a student. We went to your website. It's published somewhere. Ooh, that was a hideous. I didn't realize it was all stretched out, but it's all stretched out. Now your student is on a bus. They're in a rural area. They've gotten access to your content, and oh no, I lost internet connection. But they still have all the material. Your sites automatically behave this way in HAXcms. It's using a really advanced technical concept of the web known as a service worker That's not who the target audience is of this demonstration. But it's important to note that everything you produce is fully offline capable without you doing anything. So, this isn't tied to a back end. So if you want to present students with self-check material, you could do that just using the Hax Editing Interface, put those in and do them in a sustainable way. If you say, oh, we got to update my site, I go back over to sites directory, right? This is where I'm editing this form of it. And I go, let's make that development team question more relevant. Let's go into settings. That I can open this up, maybe change the names around. No one at all, right? I can maybe take out some of these other answers. And someone. And this is who should use this. And someone is obviously the correct answer. No one at all is not the correct answer. Are you kidding me? I can randomize these. It's going to be hard to randomize two answers. So, what kind of user should use this technology? Duh. Check your score. Oh no, try again. Let's make it just say boo. Okay, boo. But someone should use it. Duh. There we go. So we've got duh in there. Let's hide the title. So we just have that part. And then we've got it in the page. Hit save on that page. Let's take our site details in question. Let's maybe visualize this using the blog theme for fun. Save. Yep. Now we're back over to a blog. I can see introduction and the Dr. Chuck page. There we go, Dr. Chuck. So let's go over here. We're going to hit publish now again. And publish is going to overwrite that other site, right? So I can work and do radical change over on this side. We'll open up our site. And then you'll see this. It says a site update is available. Reload for the latest content. I'm going to hit reload. And now my whole design is switched over. All the content has been updated. And so those users who had the offline copy of your course materials or your blog or whatever it is, it could be, HAXcms can be anything. They're still able to access that material. They're able to, actually, if you go to this website and you're on a phone like Android or Apple, it'll actually prompt your phone and say, hey, do you want to install this on the home screen? And you can put it on the home screen as a student. So there's that Dr. Chuck content now in a completely different design. So these files that this has produced in the published directory, these work anywhere. I could take this MAMP demo and let's move it down here, and I'm not doing this for any real reason other than to illustrate, right, MAMP is a server running local to my computer. I would largely say you probably want to get this out on the internet to someone else. But so now you can go this path and it says, hey, these are cached for offline use. So that folder is a self-contained thing that you can put out on the web anywhere, and anyone can go to it. It's not tied to a database. It's not tied to fundamental changes in our platform. It is a static snapshot in time that will work, with air quotes here, forever. It is highly readable as far as what the content is, right? Like, let's say that you found this site somewhere on the internet, you forked it from someone else, you downloaded a copy, you handed it to someone, whatever, and they didn't have access to HAXcms, you could still just go into the pages, you could go into the files directory. If you wanted to add pages, whenever we were adding pages, they're all referenced in this site.json. Obviously, we use editors on the web and user interfaces because we don't want to touch those files anymore. I don't want to touch those files. I made this whole thing. So with that, if you are interested in getting involved, giving us feedback, I'm BTO Pro on Twitter or at ElmsLN on Twitter. Please feel free to reach out or get involved in our issue queues. We're really trying to make a platform that works for any and every person, not just the technical elites. So as you can see here with Hax the Web, this is actually built in HAXcms. So the system that we use to communicate the documentation is the exact system that you use. So we're really dog food in it here. But Hax, the editor, also integrates into other platforms. So if you're interested in that and you have access to some more technical resources to get Hax for Drupal or WordPress or GraphCMS or anything else, you're more than welcome to. There's also a showcase of some of the different themes that actually dynamically switches this theme over. So there's basic, there's minimalist, there is slide player showed, outline, there's even this hideously ugly dev theme, which is literally just here for developer purposes. But thanks for stopping by, and make sure you watch this video and click the play button.
If I want to upload a file
awesome
to Box,
transcripts.
why do I need to go to Box? Why can't the system, what have you?
And
Do you
no,
want to have
it's a single tag on the page that you too can also implement. So every time we do something, you can hit source view, you can check it out, you can break it apart. It's a very approachable platform that we're looking to empower a lot of people with.